Earth had been part of the Galactic Confederation for 3 years. Everyone on Earth was excited about being friends with aliens from other planets. The government picked the best people to visit the alien worlds and talk about trading food, medicine, and technology. Dr. Kim Soo-jin was one of the smartest scientists on Earth. She studied alien biology and spoke 6 alien languages. Ambassador Lee Na-yeon was the youngest person ever chosen to speak for Earth. She was only 28 years old, but very brave and clever. They were going to visit the Kethmori homeworld. The Kethmori were giant lizard-like creatures who ruled most of the galaxy. Their planet was hot and dry, with red sand everywhere. The humans had to wear special suits to breathe. When the human team arrived, the Kethmori greeted them with strange ceremonies. The aliens danced and made loud hissing sounds. The humans tried to be polite and copy their actions. Everything went wrong during the second day of meetings. The Kethmori leader, a huge reptile with golden scales, looked at the human women with disgust. He made angry clicking sounds to his advisors. "These creatures are defective," the Kethmori leader announced. "Their males are weak and broken. Look at their strange body shapes." Dr. Kim Soo-jin stood up calmly. "We are not defective. Human males and females are different by nature. This is how our species evolved." The alien leader's eyes turned bright red with rage. "You dare to question our wisdom? You claim your broken males are normal?" Ambassador Lee Na-yeon tried to explain. "In human culture, women and men are equal. We work together and—" "Blasphemy," the Kethmori leader roared. "You insult the sacred order of nature." Guards surrounded the humans. The male diplomats were pushed to one side. The women were grabbed roughly and dragged away. "This is a misunderstanding," shouted the human team leader. "Let us call Earth." But the Kethmori had already decided. According to their ancient laws, defective beings must be eliminated to maintain universal order. The trial lasted only 1 hour. The execution platform was built in the center of their capital city. Millions of aliens gathered to watch. The Kethmori broadcast the event across their entire empire. Dr. Kim Soo-jin held Ambassador Lee Na-yeon's hand as they stood on the platform. They were not crying. They looked straight ahead with dignity. "For Earth," Kim whispered. The ropes were put around their necks. The male human diplomats were forced to watch from cages nearby. They screamed and fought against their chains. The platform dropped. The women died quickly. The crowd of aliens cheered and celebrated. The Kethmori leader spoke to the cameras. "Let all species see what happens to those who deny natural law. The defective have been removed. Order is restored." 3 days later, the male diplomats were released. They were put on a small ship and told to leave. The Kethmori called this mercy. Lieutenant Commander Park Min-soo was working at Luna Station when the ship arrived. The men aboard were broken. They could barely speak. "They killed them," one diplomat whispered. "They hanged our women like animals." Min-soo contacted Earth immediately. Within hours, the recordings from the Kethmori broadcast reached Earth. Every human on the planet and in the colonies saw what had happened. The reaction was unlike anything in human history. People who had never agreed on anything suddenly spoke with one voice. The peaceful humans who had joined the galaxy with hope and friendship felt something dark awaken inside them. Admiral Song Chang-ho watched the footage for the 10th time. His face was stone, but his hands shook with rage. Around him, Earth's most powerful leaders gathered. "Sir," an aide said quietly, "the Galactic Confederation says it was legal under Kethmori law. They refuse to act." Chang-ho stood slowly. He looked at the faces of the other leaders. In their eyes, he saw the same terrible decision forming. "Contact General Im, tell him to activate the Cerberus protocols." "Sir, that means war," Chang-ho finished. "The aliens wanted to see what humans are capable of. They've made a choice. Now they'll learn." The aide left quickly. Chang-ho turned back to the screen showing the execution footage. In that moment, something fundamental changed in humanity's relationship with the galaxy. The age of peaceful coexistence was over. The age of human dominance was about to begin. By morning, every human civilian in alien space was heading home. Earth's most secret weapons were being prepared. The galaxy had no idea what was coming. They had killed human women in public. Now they would learn why that was the worst mistake they could have made. Dr. Yoon Tae-jun sat in the dark room, staring at the wall. He had watched the execution footage 20 times. His sister was one of the women who died. He had not spoken for 3 days. A knock came at his door. Tae-jun, we need you, at headquarters. He opened the door. His friend Lee Jong-min stood there. They had served together in the military before becoming scientists. I'm not ready, Tae-jun said. Yes, you are. The whole world is ready. They walked through the streets of Seoul. People were everywhere. They stood in groups, talking quietly. Their faces showed the same expression, cold anger mixed with determination. Electronic signs on buildings showed news from around the world. All humans ordered to return from alien space immediately. Military reserves called up. Emergency. Meeting of world leaders. At the defense headquarters, Tae-jun saw faces he recognized. The best minds of Earth were gathering. Scientists, generals, engineers, diplomats, all united by rage and purpose. Director Kang Young-mi entered the room. She had been the one who first contacted the aliens 5 years ago. Now her face looked carved from stone. Ladies and gentlemen, she began, 48 hours ago, the galaxy showed us what they really think of human life. The Confederation supports the Keth Mori. Other aliens either cheer or stay silent. She pressed a button. A holographic map appeared, showing alien territories. We have started recalling all humans. This process will take 2 weeks. After that, we begin. General Im Dong-wook stepped forward. He was Korea's most decorated soldier. His daughter had been on the diplomatic mission. She survived only because she was junior staff. We've been preparing for this day since first contact, he said quietly. Not because we wanted war, but because we understood that peace requires strength. The room murmured. Most people didn't know about the secret preparations. Project Cerberus has been running for 3 years, Im continued. We studied everything about our new alien friends. Their biology, their technology, their weaknesses. We built weapons they cannot imagine. Dr. Yoon Tae-jun stood up. I want to volunteer for whatever comes next. Im nodded. We hoped you would. Your sister died because they saw her as defective. You understand biology better than anyone. We need you for the Biological Warfare Division. Young Mai showed more images. The aliens think we are primitive. They've seen our public technology, medical devices, communication systems, peaceful exploration ships. They have not seen what we built in secret. Pictures flashed on the screen. Weapons that looked impossible. Ships that seemed too advanced. Soldiers in armor that made them look like robots. Every nation on Earth contributed, Im explained. The Americans shared their stealth technology. The Russians gave us their nuclear expertise. The Chinese provided manufacturing capabilities. Everyone worked together. Tae-jun felt his anger focus into purpose. What did you discover about the Keth Mori? A scientist named Dr. Park Min-soo stood up. Their breathing system is vulnerable to specific chemical compounds. Their DNA can be disrupted by certain viruses we've created. Their technology uses biological components that we can infect with engineered bacteria. President Roh Jin-ho entered the room. Everyone stood. He looked older than his years, tired from making impossible decisions. Sit, please, he said gently. I've just finished talking with other world leaders. We are unanimous. The Galactic Confederation has made their choice. Now we make ours. He touched a control panel. Images appeared showing human colonies and ships throughout space. Within 72 hours, every human will be safely away from alien territories. Then we implement Cerberus Protocol. Full activation. The room was silent. Everyone understood what this meant. We are not starting a war for revenge, the president continued. We are teaching the galaxy about consequences. They killed our women. They mocked our dead. They think we will file complaints and beg for justice. His voice became harder. They will learn that humanity survived 10,000 years of warfare by becoming masters of destruction. We stopped fighting each other only because we ran out of worthy enemies. The galaxy just volunteered. Admiral Song Chang-ho connected via video link from the Space Command Center. Mr. President, all fleets are ready. Our new ships are powered and armed. The aliens have never seen anything like them. Good, the President nodded. Operation begins in 74 hours. Show them no mercy until they beg for it. Then show them less. As the meeting ended, Taijun felt something he hadn't experienced since childhood. The cold, focused determination his grandfather had described from the old wars. The aliens had awakened something in humanity that should have stayed sleeping. Now they would face the consequences. The hunters had become the hunted. The attack began at exactly midnight, Earth time. Captain Shin Hyun-woo counted down the seconds in his fighter cockpit. Around him, 50 other human ships waited in the shadow of an asteroid. Target confirmed, his weapon officer reported. Keth Mori Military Station Zeta 5 is directly ahead. This was the aliens' most important weapons factory. It supplied guns and missiles to their entire fleet. The Keth Mori thought it was perfectly safe behind layers of shields and defense platforms. Remember, Hyun-woo spoke into his radio, we're not here to conquer, we're here to teach. The human ships moved like wolves hunting prey. They were smaller than alien ships, but much faster. Human engineers had studied alien technology for 3 years and found every weakness. The first strike hit the shields. Instead of explosive missiles, the humans fired electronic viruses. Within seconds, the alien computers were fighting against themselves. Shields are down, someone shouted over the radio. The human fighters swarmed the station like angry bees. Their weapons were different from anything the aliens had seen. Plasma cannons that burned through alien armor, kinetic rounds that moved faster than sound, virus bombs that turned alien robots against their masters. Colonel Park So-young led the ground assault team. Her soldiers dropped from transport ships, like falling stars. They wore black armor that made them almost invisible. Biological weapons ready, she reported. Beginning Phase 2. The humans released gases into the station's air system. The gases were harmless to humans but deadly to Keth Mori. Within minutes, the alien defenders began collapsing. Their breathing systems shut down one by one. It was over in 20 minutes. The most powerful military station in Keth Mori space was destroyed. Not a single human died. This same scene played out on 17 different worlds at the same time. Human strike teams hit alien bases, factories, and communication centers. Each attack was perfectly planned and executed. On Carry-On 3, Major Yang Ji-hoon led a team that captured an alien general. The general was a massive lizard creature with golden scales. He had personally ordered the execution of human women. Please, the alien begged. We can negotiate. We have valuable information. Yang looked at him without emotion. Did our women beg? Did you listen? The alien base exploded behind them as they dragged the general away. Admiral Cho Se-jin commanded the human fleet from the dreadnought Vengeance. Her ship was humanity's newest weapon, longer than 10 city blocks and armed with planet-destroying missiles. Ma'am, her tactical officer reported. Keth Mori reinforcements approaching. 30 ships. Let them come, Se-jin replied calmly. The alien fleet was impressive. Giant warships covered in weapons and armor. They had ruled the galaxy for centuries. Their commanders were confident they could crush these small human ships. The battle lasted 15 minutes. When it ended, all 30 alien ships were destroyed or disabled. The humans lost 2 fighters. The secret was in the technology. Human AI was centuries ahead of alien computers. Human weapons adapted during battle, learning how to penetrate alien shields. Human pilots had been trained in a new type of warfare, fast, brutal, and overwhelming. But the most terrifying weapon was human psychology. The aliens fought to maintain control. The humans fought to end the war completely. Every human soldier knew what had happened to their women. They fought with cold precision and absolute determination. News of the attack spread across the galaxy within hours. The Keth Mori leaders called emergency meetings. Other alien species watched in shock as their strongest allies were crushed. How is this possible? The Velth Emperor asked his advisors. These humans have only been in space for a few decades. Sir, one advisor whispered, our intelligence reports say they've been preparing for war since first contact. They've been studying us, building weapons, planning strategies. The Emperor's insect eyes clicked with fear. What have we awakened? On Earth, General Im Dong-wook watched the reports with satisfaction. Every target had been destroyed precisely. The aliens were beginning to understand. Sir, an aide asked, what are your orders for Phase 2? Im smiled coldly. Now we show them what real war looks like. Contact the Special Weapons Division. It's time to deploy Project Nightmare. Dr. Yoon Tai-jun worked in his laboratory, preparing the next wave of biological weapons. Each virus was designed specifically for a different alien species. He thought of his sister as he worked. The humans had shown mercy by joining the galaxy peacefully. The aliens had rejected that mercy when they hanged innocent women. Now they would learn that humanity had not forgotten how to wage total war. The galaxy was about to discover why humans had stopped fighting each other. They had simply been waiting for a worthy opponent. The war spread across the galaxy like wildfire. Admiral Cho Si-jin stood on the bridge of the massive warship Retribution. The ship was 3 kilometers long and carried weapons that could split planets in half. Target Kethmori homeworld is visible on screen, her weapons officer reported. Through the view screen, Se-jin could see the red planet where the human women had been executed. Billions of Kethmori lived on that world. Their leaders had celebrated the hangings just 3 months ago. Sir, we're getting messages from alien governments, her communication officer said. The Velth Empire wants to join our side. The Luxari are offering tribute. The smaller species are begging for mercy. Se-jin nodded quietly. Fear was spreading faster than human fleets. The aliens were realizing too late that they had awakened something terrible. What about the Kethmori? She asked, still refusing to surrender. Their leader says they will fight to the last soldier. Se-jin touched a control panel. Images appeared showing the execution site on the planet below. Then they'll get their wish. Major Yang Ji-hoon commanded the ground forces preparing to invade. His soldiers were no longer just human. Through genetic engineering and mechanical enhancements, they had become something more. Each soldier could lift a car with their bare hands. Their reflexes were faster than anything naturally possible. Their armor was built from materials the aliens couldn't even scratch. Sir, one soldier reported, the planet's defenses are stronger than expected. They have shield generators protecting the major cities. Yang smiled grimly. That's fine. We'll show them what desperation looks like. Dr. Yoon Tae-jun had been busy in his laboratory. He created new types of biological weapons every day. Viruses that could eat through alien metal, bacteria that paralyzed alien nervous systems, gas clouds that made alien weapons stop working. The latest weapon is ready, he reported to General Im. It's a nanovirus that can spread through their communication networks. It will make their own computers attack them. General Im examined the data. How long until their entire system collapses? 72 hours after release. The battle for the Kethmori homeworld began at dawn. Human ships descended from orbit like falling meteors. The planet's surface burned as energy weapons heated the atmosphere. The Kethmori fought bravely. Their soldiers were large and strong. Their weapons were powerful. But they faced an enemy that had spent centuries perfecting the art of war on their own world. Captain Park Soo-young led her team into the capital city. The buildings were tall spires made of black stone. Streets were filled with fleeing aliens. Remember, she told her soldiers, we're looking for the ones who ordered the execution. Everyone else is just trying to survive. They found the execution site. The platform was still there. Black marks on the ground showed where the human women had died. Park Soo-young knelt down and touched the stains. Secure this area. This becomes a monument. The fighting continued for days. Human soldiers pushed through alien defenses like they weren't there. Each human squad was supported by AI-controlled drones that moved like living creatures. But the real terror came from humanity's new ultimate weapon, the planet cracker. Admiral Se-jin had ordered it brought from Earth. It's in position, her tactical officer reported. The planet is completely surrounded. The planet cracker was a ring of connected ships that formed a giant circle around the world. Each ship carried nuclear charges powerful enough to break continents. Send one final message to their leader, Sijin ordered. The message was simple. Surrender now or watch your world die. The Kethmori leader responded with insults and threats. He called humans weak and primitive. He promised to hang more humans when the war was over. Sijin closed the communication channel. Fire! The planet cracker activated. Beams of energy struck the planet from every direction. The world's crust began to crack. Continents shifted, oceans boiled. The Kethmori leader contacted them again, screaming and begging. Stop, we surrender, please stop. Too late, Sejin replied. You had your chance. But she didn't destroy the planet completely. Instead, the humans cracked it just enough to make it barely livable. The beautiful Kethmori cities became ruins. Their gardens died. Their proud civilization collapsed into struggling survival. Throughout the galaxy, other alien species watched in horror. The Velth formally surrendered. The Luxari offered their entire fleet as tribute. Smaller species begged human ambassadors for protection. Director Kang Young-mi addressed the remaining alien governments from the ruined Kethmori capital. You have seen what happens when you harm humans, she said calmly. This is your only warning. Submit to human authority or follow the Kethmori into darkness. One by one, the alien empires bowed to human power. The galaxy had a new master. The age of alien dominance was over. The age of humanity had begun, and it all started because they hanged 2 women. 5 years after the war ended, Chancellor Lim Soo-hyun stood at the center of what was once the mighty Kethmori homeworld. The planet was still alive, but barely. Cracks ran through the continents like scars. The red oceans had turned brown from the destruction. In the exact spot where the human women were hanged, a beautiful garden now grew. 5 white stones marked where Dr. Kim Soo-jin and Ambassador Lee Na-yeon died with the others. Flowers from Earth bloomed around each stone. Never forget, Lim whispered, touching one stone gently. Representatives from every alien species in the galaxy stood behind her. They wore the clothes of their people, but all carried human-made translation devices. Everyone had to learn human languages now. Ambassador Bae Jung-sik stepped forward. His mother had been one of the executed women. He was only 15 when she died. Now at 20, he helped write the laws that governed the galaxy. Today we signed the final version of the Galactic Charter, he announced. All species will be equal. No one will be killed for being different. The alien representatives nodded quickly. They had learned not to argue with humans. Admiral Song Chang-ho watched from his ship in orbit. His hair was gray now, but his eyes were still sharp. Around the planet, human warships floated silently. They weren't needed anymore. Everyone knew better than to fight. Sir, his aide asked, the Kethmori survivors are requesting more food supplies. Chang-ho thought for a moment. The Kethmori population had fallen from 20 billion to less than 50 million. The survivors lived in simple towns, rebuilding slowly. Give them what they need, he decided. But make sure they understand. It's charity, not right. On the planet's surface, the treaty signing continued. Each alien leader came forward to put their mark on the charter. The Velth Emperor, giant and insect-like, signed with a shaking claw. The crystal beings of the Luxari sang their agreement in harmonious sounds. But the most important moment came when the last surviving Kethmori minister approached the table. He was old and bent, his golden scales now dull and faded. Humanity offers you a place in our new order, Chancellor Lim said. Will you accept? The Kethmori minister looked at the memorial stones. He remembered the celebration when the humans were hanged. He remembered thinking his species was superior. We accept, he whispered. We were wrong. We're sorry. Dr. Yoon Tae-jun, now the head of Galactic Health Services, watched the ceremony from a balcony. He thought about his sister often. She would have loved seeing species working together peacefully. He had created medicines that helped wounded aliens recover. The same skills he used to make biological weapons now saved lives. It was a strange change. General Im Dong-wook, retired but still powerful, spoke to a group of young human officers. "Remember," he told them, "we didn't conquer the galaxy for territory or resources. We conquered it for principle. Every alien who sees our ships now knows that harming innocent people has consequences." The ceremony reached its conclusion. Chancellor Lim held up the signed charter. "From this day forward," she declared, "the galaxy is united under the Terran hegemony. We are not your conquerors, we are your protectors, but protection requires obedience." As the aliens began to leave, many glanced nervously at the human soldiers. These weren't the same soldiers who fought in the war. They were younger, born after the victory. They had never seen the galaxy under alien rule. To them, human dominance was simply the way things were. On a distant planet, children of various species played together in a schoolyard. Human children played with young Velth and Luxari. They learned each other's games and languages. A Kethamori child, one of the few born after the war, asked her human friend, "Why are there so few of us left?" The human child, barely 8 years old, answered matter-of-factly, "Your ancestors tried to hurt humans, so humans hurt them back. My teacher says it's a lesson about being kind to everyone." The Kethamori child nodded solemnly. "I'll always be kind to humans." Back at the memorial, Chancellor Lim remained after everyone left. She spoke to the stones as if the dead women could hear her. "We kept our promise," she said softly. "The galaxy will never forget what happens when they harm us. Your death saved billions of lives by teaching the universe about consequences." A gentle wind blew through the garden, making the earth flowers dance. Across the galaxy, humans patrolled trade routes, maintained peace, and ruled with firm kindness. The alien species prospered under human guidance but always remembered the cost of rebellion. The lesson was simple. Touch humanity's innocent, and humanity will touch your worlds. The galaxy had learned this lesson perfectly. It would never need to learn it again.